And let's make this one a little bit. We'll make that one smaller. There we go. So this is a accurate depiction as to where I think that we're at right now. The bull run over ski. I'm not selling, holding until we go to zero. It's mathematically impossible to do that. Is the bottom confirmed? I like that we got a lot of volume today. Also, the VIX was extremely high, so that shows a lot of volatility, plus volume, plus the structural, the Wyckoff structure. Trade the news and you will lose. That's right. So I thought that we were going to get the LPS version. It wasn't even what I was predicting, but that's what I was more in line with thinking that we were going to get was the LPS version, which looks like this. But it's clear that we have gotten the spring version. So it's basically the same. The only difference is phase C. So we're somewhere in this neck of the woods right here. It looks to be like we're in phase C of accumulation. And I've been saying for a while that the bottoming structure is for LPS would look something like that. And then you would start to get your higher lows, your sign of strength, your back test before starting phase E. That's what the end of this schematic is going to look like. Should I buy Bitcoin now or wait? DCA. But definitely I think that the bottom is in. Not only the structure, but I think that the wick too. I think that this was the last. And like who said that earlier? Guru said we're getting a bullish divergence. I would agree. This is a bullish divergence. Do you think we have at least 8 months of accumulation? No, we're at the end of accumulation. If the Dow Jones losing 20% in a matter of a couple of days can't get us to 70K, what narrative is next? What's going to do it? What are we waiting for? Like what literal showing you from a textbook. Selling climax, automatic reaction, secondary test. That's phase A. Selling climax, automatic reaction, secondary test. That's all phase A. Phase B, the secondary test in phase B goes lower than the selling climax. Secondary test in phase B goes lower than the selling climax. Move to the upside, you start skidding down, and then boom, big spring. Bro, what the are these people calling me for? My God. Move to the upside, start skidding down, big selling climax. Or spring, excuse me. I thought 76 was your level of support. It's not even support. There's no support here. This is just the spring. I put out yesterday 75, 74. I said I put in longs and I put all my stop losses below 74 because if we are going to get a spring, and I said it looked like that's what's going to happen, then it would likely go to 75. We went to 74.4. I just want the beard to be safe. The beard is safe. Don't worry. I have no fear. I have no concern. I have no fear. What I want to see, though, we need to have a move to the upside in the next few days. Probably somewhere around 82K. Then we'll get our LPS for a continuation. We're going to be looking for, excuse me, not the LPS, the test. So move to the upside. This would probably be around 82K. And then coming back, this would probably be, again, about 78K. And you start going to make your higher-low structure. Higher high, higher low structure. Then we'll get our LPS. And our sign of strength would go above the automatic reaction. The sign of strength for this would probably take you north of 96K. It could even be a little bit lower than that, or higher than that. It could even be 99K. So that is what I think. Alex thinks we crashed in the end of 2025. Big explosion in 2026. What do you think? It's possible. You guys are telling me that Alex is bearish. That's not what I'm seeing from him when I talk with him or even his videos. Like, I'm pretty sure he's deploying his capital. Everyone keeps telling me how bearish Alex is. That's not the vibe that I'm getting when I talk with him. But even if he is, it's fine. It's fine to disagree. Sonic chart. Yeah, just a violent back test. The prior range here. We're on top of all this support here. People just panic sold is all that happened. That's all that really is. Breakout back test, and we're on top of all of this over here. We're getting very oversold at this point. This is a macro higher low right now. Ethereum. I don't love how low Ethereum went. That's kind of crazy to me. And we talked about this yesterday on the live stream. Like, it's still just on the downtrend. It's well below all of this support. So you got to zoom all the way out and get, I mean, it's still on top of all this support over here. I think that there's a realistic possibility. We talked about this yesterday. I gave best case, worst case scenario for Ethereum. Yoski, is Bitcoin going to 100K before June? I think so. Facts versus opinions, yes. So let's go back to where I think that we're at on Bitcoin. I think that Bitcoin is working on accumulation. Excuse me. Okay. So let's map out the rest of what this would look like if true. So this is your selling climax. Automatic reaction, secondary test. This is all phase A of Wyckoff. Okay. Mark down, selling climax, automatic reaction, secondary test. This is all phase A of Wyckoff, right? Then phase B, you have your move down. Secondary test in phase B goes lower than the selling climax. Secondary test in phase B goes lower than the selling climax. Then you have a move to the upside. You skid and you spring into phase C. You have your move to the upside. You skid down, spring into phase C. This is where I think that we're at right now. Literally right here, right now is where I think that we're at. And so if this is where we're at, what we would expect is a little move, not a crazy move, but to like 82K, 83K, somewhere in that neighborhood, which we're kind of already getting it. And then back test, we'll get our second test in phase C, which is a little bit higher than the spring and a little bit higher than even the, or basically the secondary test in phase B, which was about 78K, I believe, 77K. So that's where we'd expect going up to 82K, 83K, coming back to 78K, 77K, somewhere in there, and then start making higher lows. And your LPS would be right around 87K, it looks like. So you have your mark up, buying climax, automatic reaction, secondary test. That's all phase A. Okay. Buying climax. Automatic reaction. Secondary test. This is all phase A. right? Then you have your upthrust, which goes higher than the buying climax. And then you have a UTAD, which would textbook go higher than the upthrust. And what we would be looking for to confirm this, also, this is at the macro 702 that it's doing this, which I think is important to note. What we'd be looking for, and also look how overbought it is on the RSI. We're at 83.36. This is flashing in the green. And this would get you, depending on where this goes, this could be a bearish divergence. It's not quite that yet. But the buying climax was certainly higher than the upthrust. And what we'd be looking to get is starting to move. LPS would be in the base of this move in here. And then your sign of weakness. And then start to roll over. So the LPS would take us somewhere in here, back to the 618 at about 60.2%. That's the next major thing that I'm going to be looking for. And then I think it's going to roll over. Ryan, thanks for the heart, bro. You savage.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Is UTAD an inverse spring? That's correct. That is 100% correct. So let's look at the Dow Jones too. Because also, like, the DXY already is working on distribution. Or this was a micro distribution markdown. DXY is falling off a cliff. Let's see if we can get below this. Like, if we can get below all this support, man, like, we're setting up for a pretty crazy storm here. The perfect storm of Bitcoin dominance working on distribution. The perfect storm of the DXY falling off a cliff. The perfect storm of Bitcoin working on accumulation. Now back at 80K. All at the same time. While the VIX is being crazy amounts of volatility, while there's lots of volume being injected. So let's see. It's a lot of volume coming in here on this selling climax, or the spring, excuse me. I think that's a good sign. I think that we are setting up for something pretty crazy. Everything, everywhere, all at one time. And we're already seeing, too, like, I think China's going to play hardball. China's going to be the last one to the dinner table, so to speak. But we are definitely seeing some countries already start to, like, all right, yep, you're right. Because say what you will about the American or the American consumer, like, there is no bigger market than the American consumer. And if you're locked out of that market, that could be not good for your economy. So we'll see. We'll see how the dominoes start to fall, but I definitely see a lot of dominoes being stacked right now. That's what I will say. And I think that a perfect storm is brewing. Ski, has your price for Rose changed? No, but the retracement is 38 cents, and I'm definitely going to be de-risking a lot there. Let me make sure that TikTok isn't giving me any weird. They're not. Okay, cool. let's see here. You think Doge can reach $1 this cycle? I think that that's very plausible. $1 to $2. So 69 cents as like a double top is my bear case. This is a clean setup. It hasn't quite broke this downtrend yet. It's getting close though. Man, Doge is below the 236. I might add Doge to the top value list. That's insane. So this is just a bigger form of this move right here. So I would say that this peak, this wick here, is the same wick as this wick right here. And then this wick right here would be the same as this wick right here, especially what's considered. So we'll see. It started to get higher lows and higher highs out of that. I might add Dogecoin to my top value. Yes, we're adding Dogecoin to the top value list because it's below the 236. But realistically, 69 cents is my low target, $1 and then $2. Just to the 1618 is about a 6x. I think that you definitely live with that. And the 2618 is a 10x. So I think you're talking 4x to 10x for Dogecoin. I might add Dogecoin to my value list. And I might even do a long on Dogecoin. That's a riskier long. I'd have my stop losses pretty tight on that. But I like where it's at. And I think I've said this, like, Dogecoin is the Bitcoin of memes. Are you worried about April 9th? I'm not worried for a second. No. I don't get sucked up into all the narratives and all that stuff. I don't. If you came to this channel looking for that, for fear mongering, this is the wrong channel. I'm going to look at where the charts are, where the value is, and that's where I'm going to keep things. If you're looking for somebody to panic and, you know, fear monger and all that stuff, this is not the right channel. Go find someone else. And I'm not saying you came here for that, but I know a lot of people are. A lot of people have. So many bear calls, negative info everywhere about the bull run. Is that good? That's amazing. It's amazing news. It's amazing, amazing, wonderful news. All of my top blue chips. Okay, so the question was, you think your top coins will be back next run as well to be safe, no big move? All of the top coins that are blue chips, I would say yes, plus, you know, Solnik and others. AVAX, please. I like AVAX. Let me look at AVAX's chart specifically today, though. We haven't looked at that in a little while. So we're going to look at AVAX's market cap. Again, market cap tells you the true price of a coin. All good. No fear, no pain, no game. Dang it, you boy ski. My wife's boyfriend just walked away because you said that. You hate to see it. So AVAX kind of has the same sort of chart as Ethereum a little bit. So it's below the 236 and it's on top of a lot of support over here. And I'm looking at the market cap as well. I do think that this is a accumulation forming as well. And I'd be interested to see, is this wick right here lower on the RSI? Let's see. Yes, it is. Okay, so I think that this is accumulation as well. Now, I would probably play it. I would probably de-risk a little bit. Got to be honest. I'd probably de-risk a little bit at the micro 1618. We're talking 10 to 20%. So that's, I don't know what the price of that is, but that's $17.5 billion market cap. Let me see. That's about a 1.6x from here. I'd probably de-risk a little bit just in case, because there are going to be coins that are only going to retrace. Let me see what that is. 1.6x from here. So that's about $42. I would probably de-risk a little bit there, but ultimately I do think that this is going to go parabolic. It already hit the 702. The macro 2618 is in confluence with the 1618. So low, what was that? $42. That's my low case. Medium case is a 6.8x. That's $110. And bull case it's about a 15x. So that would be $262. That's my update on AVAX. What percentage would you be a stop out on Doge? I'll put it out. Are you in my Telegram? I'll put it out on there. I'm going to go long on Doge later. LCX is still the same. 38 cents, $1, $2, low, medium, high. Good morning from Bangkok. Good morning. Falcone is laughing all over X, saying we're fully in a bear cycle. He says he called the top 100K. Well, 100K wasn't the top. You know what I'm saying? We went to 109. So being wrong by, I don't know if you can call the top when you're wrong by 10, 15% an entire year of stock market gains. I don't know if you can call that the top. And guess what? If he's right, okay. We're at the end of it already because we're working on accumulation. You could say, like, listen, you could argue that this was distribution. I just have a more macro time frame. So yeah, certainly in hindsight, this is micro distribution, just like this is micro accumulation. And that would take us to a micro 1618 of 128. No, that's wrong. Listen, like, again, how I view things so macro, my time horizon is not the next 2 weeks, the next 2 months, the next 2 days, the next 2 years. My time horizon is the next 2 decades. So eventually, Solnick will reach 100 million. Solnick will reach 1 billion. Solnick will reach 10 billion. Not financial advice. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot legally give you financial advice. But I know that I'm going to be working at that until I die, as long as there is blood in my veins. It's one of my highest conviction plays. No one's paying me to promote it. What do you think of QNT? I like quant. What's the benefit of being in your personal Telegram? So you have the biggest benefit, I think, is actually the community. So there's 100. Hold on, let's see here. There's 134 members of like-minded individuals who are all trying to get better at crypto, better at just honing in on their skills, better at trading. And, you know, that's a really good resource of being around like-minded individuals like that. Also, I put out every single trade that I do on there. Whether I long, whether I short, I put out exactly what I'm doing. And I put out videos once a week exclusive videos. Just like this is an exclusive live stream. I put out exclusive videos on there. There's useful research links. I have my holdings on there anytime I buy or sell. People can request topics for me to cover, books that have helped me in my past, free audiobooks, literally my meal plan, coin requests, and my workout plan and meditations that have helped me as well. So that's what comes with it. Says the pro group is legit, and it's just a one-time payment. It's not like a monthly subscription or anything like that. When does on-ramp go live? It should be this month. So ADA still 250 to 8. Yes, Web. That's just development. Where do I get the NFTs and get them to you? You don't. You just send me proof that you have them, but they're on launchmynft.io. Here, I'm gonna put the link. I don't know if it'll let me. Again, all the money from this goes towards Solnick. It's you're not lining my pockets. There you go. I just put the link. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. If you can't figure it out, you can send me a DM and I'll send you the link like that too. But that is the link right there. It should be in my description as well. Where did my YouTube chat go? There it is. It's good content with a good creator. Thanks, Michael. Do you think your top value plays will at least retrace? Absolutely. I think that. Absolutely, I think that. Yes. 100%. I panic bought at 3 a.m. and my portfolio is looking a lot better. Am I cooked, Ski? I don't think you're cooked, Cole. I think it sounds like you're a pretty smart guy. A pretty smart fella. Or a farts mellow. We're not sure yet, but no, I'm just kidding. You think Bitcoin will go lower than 79K? Yeah, I do think that, for sure. Absolutely, I think that. Because, like, what did we talk about? So this is textbook Wyckoff accumulation, in my opinion, right? This is textbook Wyckoff accumulation. So the move to the upside right here, let me just show you what I'm talking about here. Basically, yesterday, I think we are right here. So the $74,400 was the spring. What we should get is a move to the upside and then a test. The test is basically the same as the secondary test in phase B. So the move to the upside would likely take us to 82K, 83K, somewhere in there. And then the test would probably be about 78K, 77K. So the test would be in here, and it would probably be around this same point that we got to with the secondary test in phase B. And then we'll start to get higher lows, which the test would be one of the first higher lows. And then we'll get our LPS, which would probably be around 88K. And then we'll get our sign of strength, which should be around 100K. Does that make sense? So you're asking me, do I think we'll go lower than 79K? I do think that that is definitely going to happen. Do I think that we're going to go lower than 74.4? No, not before an all-time high. Hopefully that answers your question. Thoughts on taking a 10K loan on Bitcoin and buying 22,000 ADA? Okay. The web, I'm going to tell you, traditional wisdom would say that that's a bad idea. A traditional, it depends though. Like, if you're getting a credit card loan, I think that that's a bad idea. I don't know. I believe in Bitcoin more than the dollar. That's the Robert Kiyosaki way. I can't tell you to do that. I know that people that have done that. Now, if you're going to take out a loan and go trade with that, I don't think that that's a good idea. 20,000 ADA. Michael, I actually think that we're just going to kind of chop up right now is what I think is going to happen. I'm not predicting a big move right now. I think we're going to chop up is what I think. Bambi says you can personally talk to him and see his trades, the moments. If you miss the live, you're always first informed. That's right. I mean, I do put out I'll just put out videos on my phone frequently, even if I don't put out a full trading video or something like that. I do put out just videos on my phone that are like my real life thoughts right now in the moment. You know what I mean? I put that out more regularly than even just the videos. I like doing the members only lives on TikTok because I can smoke my cigars. USDC $2. You won't get 20,000 ADA with 10K because ADA won't reach 50 cents anytime soon. Did he say 10K? I don't think he said a 10K loan. Oh, he did say 10K. Where is ADA at right now? What did it get to? Oh. I don't think ADA is taking out that. No, I would agree with that. Yeah, I don't think ADA is going to take out 50 cents. It says these are way better. Yeah, like we deal with so much less trolls. Smoke. I had this guy. I had this Russian guy that I went to basic training with. His name was Gaprindashvili. That was his name. So we went to basic training together. And then we went to AIT together. We were at the same spot. And so you can't smoke cigarettes or anything like that. I never smoke cigarettes, but I do smoke cigars. And we went to basic together, and then we were at the same place in AIT, and you can't smoke while you're in basic or anything like that. But when you're in AIT, you're allowed to smoke. And he was trying to convince me to smoke cigarettes. Because he was like, Gajewski, basic training. I run 15-minute 2-mile. No smoke. AIT, I smoke cigarette. 14-minute 2-mile. Fucking smoke, Gajewski. That's what he told. I was like, bro, I don't think that that's right. I don't think that that's what's happening. I think we're at different elevation, and a little bit. It's not as cold as it was. We were in the dead of the winter in basic, and it's not winter no more. Do you have a strong conviction by the end of May we go to 118K? Yeah, I do have a very strong conviction at that. He said, Gajewski, you smoke cigarette. Basic training, I run 15-minute 2-mile. AIT, I smoke 14-minute 2-mile. Ski, do you ever do TA while benching? Never. That'd be a tough challenge. Just... What's up, guys? Today, we're going to be looking at the Bitcoin charts. And right now, Bitcoin dominance, in my opinion, it's working on distribution. The crazy thing is, though, we're getting the perfect storm that Bitcoin's working on accumulation. Wow, Bitcoin dominance is working on distribution. That'd be crazy. Can't compete, he fights bears. He wasn't much of a fighter. I will say the Russians have the best grapplers in the world. But he wasn't one of them. Maybe doing TA is easier with kettlebells. I could do that. I think I've done that before. It's like a little silly video. All right, guys. I think that's going to be it for this time. I'm going to go have dinner with the fam. All right, guys. That's going to be it for this time. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. Tomorrow, we'll probably do a regular TikTok live stream just on my phone. But I think maybe every other is going to be members only. I think that's what we're going to do because this is the second time I've done a full live stream on TikTok and it didn't get taken down. So I think it's just the trolls who like want me to literally say confirmation bias and I'm not going to do it. So I'll do it on my phone tomorrow. And what is the schedule for tomorrow? I don't even remember. I put out my schedule already. That's the schedule. I put it out. I don't think I pinned it. Whoopsies. All right. Yeah, whatever. My schedule, I think it's the same time tomorrow. I think it's 5 p.m. tomorrow. I'll be live. I'll be live every single day this week except for Sunday. I'm taking off on Sunday. They're all basically going to be the same time. But that is going to be it for this time. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I will never message you first. That's somebody from Pakistan or Kakistan. Peace, love, prosperity, God first. God bless.